Well, last time we left off having made headers for this thing, but not really knowing whether it runs well or not. Well, it runs like crap, but does become quite lively with the correct special sauce. Good stuff. Now, with some boot thawing, and of course, some pain,
Okay.
we shall remove the carburetors and start TQCMDA. I use acronyms to boost my ego while simultaneously making you feel stupid. Iwatabame wasamifus. There was no shortage of fishiness on my carburetor adventure, like the lack of spring on this air cut. Oh wait, it's just on the wrong side. Fishiness aside, I basically just gave things a complete disassembly and very thorough cleaning. Since I had to suffer for many hours, now you have to suffer through 26 seconds of uninterrupted carburetor reassembly. Runs like beans through a straw. Maybe a cheap carb kit will save us. This carb kit was actually terrible. Probably over 50% of the parts were just wrong. And most importantly, it still runs like garbage. And as we know, when talent falls short, blame it on something you haven't touched yet. So I went off on a bit of a tangent. I thought maybe the cam was out of time with the crankshaft, and it did look like it was very slightly. But in the end, it was total bogus, and I just put some fresh gas in it and cleaned the spark plugs really well, and it ran great after that. In the end, it's really anyone's guess why it all of a sudden decided to not run like garbage. I doubt the fact that there was probably a little bit of diesel in the gasoline I was using helped at all. My running theory is that it was a combination of bad gas and carburetor issues, which were fouling the spark plugs, so when I fixed the carburetor issues, it still didn't run. All I know is that now engine go vroom, it can make wheel go spin, so we need wheels to go engine go spin wheel go vroom go spin go fast. All right. Well, the death trap is in the shop, and man, forgot how light this thing is. It's just like, I don't know, interesting to weigh this, but makes me shockingly aware of how thin all these pipes are. Here I demonstrate one of my favorite superpowers: human engine hoist. But I'm not the kind of engine hoist you'd spend your hard-earned cash on. I'm the kind of engine hoist your grandpa said you could have if you just mowed the lawn for the rest of the summer. Refined throughout the decades, I'm held together with baling twine and rusty bolts of the wrong size. I am sturdy enough to get the job done, yet sketchy enough to bite you like a rabid raccoon the second you lose focus and turn your back. And there we have it. How not to lift an engine.
All right. It's chop chop time. Absolutely beautiful. Wow, I wonder who welded that.
Right about now, you're probably wondering why I would dare cut up such an exquisite piece of redneck engineering. Well, as some guy called Pablo once said, in order to make ye, first I must break ye. At least, that's the short of it. But I'm not here to give you the short version. I'm here to give you the long version, the drawn out version, if you will. I know what you're thinking. Pretty funny joke, right? Because, I'm making it longer. It was almost as funny as the other day when I said those same words to your motorcycle. Anyway, the reason for elongation is really quite simple. Our output shaft on the transmission with the sprocket is way yonder behind our axle. So without some sort of intermediate shaft or extending the output shaft, there's no way to get power to the axle unless we move the axle rearwards. This also has the effect of preventing wheelies, which could be a pro or a con, depending on your health insurance. Okay, we have achieved welds and flawless dimensional accuracy, so it is time for some more metal for motor mounts. Very excited. And since this is the world's most affordable death trap, we will be going on a scavenger hunt. Too short. Very heavy. Hmm. Hum. I changed my mind. So here you can see how the motor mounts are going to work. Pretty much just a pipe straight across, drops down a little from the frame, just to keep the center of gravity low, and the chain lines up better this way. And we'll just have some tabs sticking up off that pipe to mount the motor. Would you like to see stupidity at its finest? One of my mounting bolts was too long, and I didn't have the right die to cut it and put threads on it shorter, so I just cut a bunch of spacers out of a piece of flat bar, and now it's absolutely beautiful. Alright, I'm gonna call it there, with the motor mounted but not tacked, just to leave you on the edge with a bit of suspense. Stay tuned for the next one. We should be doing a test drive, and if you would like to build headers like these, you should probably seek mental help, but I also have a video for that.